And you say, am I going to get them back? I think I will. I think the Lord is going to touch somebody's heart, and they're going to win someone's heart. And he's going to do a miracle.
Things are just, they're really risky. Yes, they are. We need to go. We need to get out.
Monday, February 1st. After 2 days of hassling with red tape, they're free to go. If they don't hurry, they'll miss the last flight out for the day.
Couldn't have strung this whole thing out any farther. We're down to absolutely seconds right now.
Tito seems lost in his thoughts perhaps of his father and of the sudden transformation his life is going through. That transformation escalates as they take off on Thai Air Flight 661 at 3:45 p.m. As they speed through over 8,000 miles of airspace, people on the other side of the world in Sioux Falls are preparing for their arrival.
What was your first response when you learned Vivian had the children and she'd be coming back?
Hallelujah. First response. Second response, now the work begins.
The work is underway. Volunteer Barbara Cumble is selecting coats for the kids.
This one will fit Tito.
A cream of mushroom is a good hot dish.
Other volunteers shop for groceries they'll take here to Vivian's new home, a 4-bedroom low-income townhouse arranged for by church members. For Yancha, Vivian's youngest, who's been separated from his mother now for weeks, this is a happy time.
Be sure you bring it tomorrow to the airplane.
Tuesday, February 2nd. There's a feeling of celebration at the airport.
Is anybody coming in? No.
As soon as the plane does touch down, Yancha is glued to the window, waiting for his mother to appear. The crowd watches with him with intense anticipation.
Look, John, look, there's your mom in the green sweater. See her?
Welcome home. All right. Glad you're here.
Vivian is astounded to be back in Sioux Falls with the children she thought she had lost forever.
It just shows me they're my children. They're my children. They're part of my flesh. They're part of me. And that's something no one could ever take away from me.
The children seem to be enjoying all the fuss and festivities swirling about them. But there are moments when their deep bitterness emerges.
If your mom comes and takes you away from your dad by force, brings you to a country you don't even like, then what are you supposed to feel like?
As she walks into the bitter cold, Vivian is wondering exactly what it will take for her children to make the monumental adjustment that's before them. It's too early to know.
Ready, go!
Tuesday, February 16th, 2 weeks after their arrival in Sioux Falls, we visit the Shalanda family to see how they're doing. They look like they're having a great time.
Hey, we're gonna push. Let's go.
But beneath this sparkle, there's serious trouble. The kids still speak adamantly of their wish to return to the children of God. They refuse to go to school because they say it's against the cult's doctrine. And they fight frequently with their mother, most often because she no longer believes in the cult leader, Moses David Berg.
When she questions what he says, where does that leave her?
That leaves her on the junk pile.
Junk pile?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
These children, devoted to the cult, know all about its practices, including the religious prostitution, which until last year was advocated by Berg to win new disciples.
John, in terms of flirty fishing, do you think it works? Is it a good idea?
Yes, I've heard of about 100 of our converts were won over flirty fishing.
One of the only ways to get into their heart and to really show them the real love of God was to get in bed with them and to really share their hearts with them.
And April, do you think as you got older you would have been asked to do flirty fishing?
Of course not. You volunteer to.
And would you do it?
Of course.
To bring someone in, to make another believer, it's worth it to you?
Yes.
Of course, not only did April's religious leader advocate this practice, so does her own father.
No, what about flirty fishing?
Yeah.
Tell me about flirty fishing.
Well, it's nothing new. It's something that God has been trying to get his love across to men for thousands of years. And we feel that if manufacturers of automobiles and motorcycles can use sex as advertising, then why can't God use sex? And what's wrong with sex?
2020 also asked Richard about My Little Fish. That's the chapter in the cult publication which shows children in sexual poses with each other and with adults.
It's just a piece of educational material, and we've learned many things through the years of child care, taking care of children. It's actually fun to watch a child in this case experience life.
Dr. Margaret Singer is a psychologist and cult expert.
How does that strike you as a statement from a father?
What he was saying, experience life, shows a mother orally copulating a little boy, and that's his opinion about what would usually in the United States be regarded as sexual abuse of a child.
Richard says there's never been any sexual abuse of children in his home.
It's something that we forbid in our homes. It's something that has never been practiced nor advocated, and I stand here before you telling the truth.
The children do say they've never had any sexual experiences with adults or other children, but they become extremely agitated when we ask them about Moses David Berg's teachings on sex.
My Little Fish. Now, your father described that as a routine publication. And that entails graphic sex.
Who had this? They're not having sex, they're just kissing and hugging in bed. That's not sex.
April is very upset that 2020's obtained a copy of My Little Fish. Ex-members tell us the cult leaders say it should be kept secret.
If you show it to other people, they don't understand. That stuff's not supposed to be publicized. So many people think sex is wrong. So many people hate us. But we're just telling them the truth. We're just telling them it's not wrong. We're just telling them that there's nothing wrong with it. And here come these publicizers showing them to everybody, making everybody think it's wrong.
This is printed and circulated, though.
Well, why do you need it? You don't need it.
It's not a private doc. It's printed and widely circulated around the world.
You're not supposed to have it.
What exactly will it take for the children to recover from a lifetime of cult indoctrination? Psychologists 2020 talked to say these kids urgently need to be deprogrammed, and if they can get the help they need, they can make a good adjustment. But deprogramming will cost a lot of money which Vivian does not have, but hopes to one day get.
Okay, kiddo, you can do it.
Just a few weeks ago, we visited the family again and found the kids have made some adjustments. They've made new friends and learned to play baseball. All 4 of them did start school back in March, but only 3 of them completed the year. John dropped out after 2 weeks because he felt the school would destroy him. All of the kids, nearly 6 months after arriving in Sioux Falls, say they continue to believe in the teachings of Moses David Berg and the children of God.
I want some too.
And they want very much to return to Thailand and to their father. So for now, it's clear that the ordeal is still not over. And yet, Vivian tells us she feels good these days.
Before I had the children, I really had an ache in my heart. Well, I just don't have that ache anymore. I have a contentment there. I mean, I'm happy. How do you explain it? You've been defeated in life. Something has taken you and controlled you, and you've overcome that.
Tom, how long will it take for these children to get over this indoctrination of the children of God?
Well, Hugh, we have to remember these kids were born into this cult. This is all they have ever known. Now, for adults that go into it, it takes roughly 2 years, and that's with good deprogramming. Yeah. These youngsters don't have any real effective deprogramming efforts underway, so it's going to take a long time, and the mother's going to have the resources to get professional help.
The oldest boy seems to have the most difficulty. I wonder if he can avoid real depression.
They seem to genuinely want to return to their father in Thailand at this point, but it could change. Also, they have terrific support within the community. The church is with them. Senator Larry Pressler, their senator, has been very influential in trying to keep them on the right track.
Thank you, Tom.
For transcript of this program, please send $4 to 2020 Transcripts, Journal Graphics, 267 Broadway, New York, New York, 10007. This has been the ABC News.